नहीं अंजू. Hi everybody. Welcome to our daily live, which usually happens at 3 p.m. But today it's happening at 5:30 p.m. How are you all? Thank you so much for logging in. Yesterday we didn't have a live, and I have to say I got so many messages from people messaging me saying they're actually missing our live. So here we are back. Today, of course, at a different time, but hope you all are doing well. Today, I'm chatting with Madhoo Shah, who's someone that I really, really admire. Somebody who's so positive and just a beautiful person, who adds whatever she does in her life, acting or any business that she takes up, it's extremely, she's a go-getter. She's been in so many movies that you know about, and in South Indian films, in Bollywood. So today I'm chatting with her about her journey as an actress and where she is today. So let me get her on board. I'll wait for a few people to join in, and then hope you all are doing well, and this is possibly the last phase of the lockdown, hopefully. So hopefully we get to meet soon. Hi everybody. Hi Tamira. Thank you, Tamira. I'm just waiting for a few people to log in. Okay, here. Now we can get started. Hi.
Hi, Shan.
How are you? So good to have you here.
Shan, thank you for having me here. Pleasure.
I was just telling everybody before you came on how you're one of my favorite people, and you're always so positive. You're always, anything that you take on in your life, you take it on like a go-getter. You don't, there's no halfway for you. And every time I meet you, you're the most positive person I've met. So I'm not saying it because I'm chatting with you, but it's something I truly believe.
Shan, before I answer any of those things, I would like to say something to you. I have been watching your live interviews which you've been doing with other people, and especially the one where you got interviewed by, I think, Nandini.
Yeah.
And when I heard you speak that day, I really thought it was me speaking, or you were talking like the way I would say. And the one thing that keeps coming to my mind again and again is what you keep saying about gratitude and being okay with whatever life gives you. And like exactly the way you tell me that you find me positive, you are one of the people that I think is always positive and young and positive. You know, a lot of us learn our lessons, through life, but you're so young, and yet you seem to know, or you seem to be, like so happy, and that smile on your face. So I really wanted to say the same to you, and I really sincerely, not because I'm talking to you again, I think it's, I'm really proud to be on your show, because I know what your show is all about. You feature all the young people, especially business people who are starting, young entrepreneur who's starting business, and that is your platform. And for you to think that I fit in that platform, and to be able to add value or contribute in your, in your show, I take it as my, as I'm very happy to be with you, really.
How sweet. How sweet. Thank you so much. Those words mean a lot. I have to say that today I was very excited. I was thinking what to talk to you about. And, I was just thinking of the flow of the conversation. And one thing that really resonates with me, which I'm going to bring up to everyone that's watching this, is how you are very down to earth, very positive, and as people see you on screen and as people see you in interviews, you are in real life. You're the same person. And I think that is a beautiful quality that many people don't have. I have to say, many people don't have that. So today I'm going to be chatting with you, of course, about your journey, how you got started. So if you could start by telling us how you got into acting.
Yeah, I would love to say, I would love to share that part of it. But talking about being down to earth, it's not an effort. It's my belief system. And you are one of the people who are seeing it as positive. And now I'm beginning to feel that maybe that is my strength and that is my positive trait. But in the beginning, I used to think that is my negative trait. Because I am not, I'm a, sometimes I've always fought with that thing, whether one should be a go-getter or whether one should allow life to unfold. And I've always found it very difficult to find that balance. When is the time that one must push forward? And when is the time you let it all just happen as it happens? Sometimes, you need to go forward. You need to push. You need to, open your avenues. And there are times when you have to just sit back and allow things to happen. And that is a very fine balance. And also another thing is that I am always learning. I'm in the mode of learning. I never come from a place where I believe that I have done so much and I know so much. I'm always thinking that even today, while I'm sitting in front of you, I feel you know a lot. And I'm listening, talking to you, opening myself to learning. Now, that keeps me, the positive is what you stated, like you see me as a down-to-earth and you are stating it as a positive trait, but it can come also from a person who doesn't come across as very confident or perhaps with a low self-esteem. But again, you have to, I often meditate and ask myself, am I like this because I'm not sure of myself? Do I doubt my abilities? Or am I, so you need to ask those self questions and then find the balance. And I'm very happy to state that it's been a journey to feel happy with who I am. And I know now that it doesn't come from, I'm not a less confident person, but I'm a student in my field. Even after I've got 70 odd films under my belt, but even today when I'm on the sets, and often I'm on the set nowadays with 20-something. My director is 20-something. My co-actors are 20-something. And I have worked in 70 films or so, 70, 75 films. But even today, I only bring forward suggestions. But I don't, I'm always in the mode of like, I feel that, you are a generation, today's generation, and you have, something that I don't have, that is today's generation. So I keep myself open and I bring my experience. So I am truly somebody who tries. I'm not saying I got it all perfected, but I try to bring my experience and I'm open. I'll never say to my young actor or my young director that this is what I'm going to do because this is what I think is right. I'm always like, this is what I would like to do. How would you see that? And learning to do this has added to my
years and journey.
I just wanted to share that. And now to quickly answer your question, my journey, how I started. Many years ago, how I started, everybody knows, Shan. But what I would like to say, how I started my restarted, would be like, first I started to keep myself busy. First, like after my children were of some age where I felt that I could step out of the house, and I realized that I was not good at making pizzas or rajma chawal or baking cakes. That's not what I was ever good at. I was very good as a mother because I just love my children. But I was never good in doing what a good mother supposedly does in a stereotypical or a cliched way. I don't find myself very comfortable in cooking. So the minute they were old enough or neither I was good enough in managing their schoolwork or their homework. So, so I was out of my waters a little bit here. But the minute I could step out of my house, I wanted to breathe again. So I
Yeah.
felt like, let me go and just go to a place where I feel that I am me and I know my self around. That's how I started my movies again.
Yeah.
And it was so difficult to convince my family. It was so difficult to convince myself because I started feeling guilty for leaving my children behind.
Yeah.
And if I was not there on a certain day when they were home and I was not able to be home, or God forbid they got unwell and I was not able to be home. So there was a lot of guilt and I needed support from my husband, from my family, and then my own inner conscience to believe that what I'm doing is good for me and hence good for everyone around me. So I had to
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
to that point, and then I started just as a vocation, just that 2 days out. A lot of people take a story session to decide
Yeah.
whether they should do this movie or not, right?
Yeah.
They want to know what my role is, what the movie is all about. For me, if the director said to me that, ma'am, we only want you for 4 days, I would take that role because I knew 4 days I can take a gap from my home. But a 4 day role in a movie, which is roughly made for 70 days or 90 days, a
Yeah.
4 day role is sorry my language, but a shit role
Yeah.
for an
Yeah.
artist who wants to
You're
act.
right. You're
If
right.
you're
Yeah.
working in a movie that is roughly taking 75 days to make and you're doing a
Yeah.
4 day role in that, it is nothing. But that is how I came back, just to give
Yeah.
you a perspective. And people started noticing me in those one scene, two scenes, and my children started getting older. They started getting accustomed to the fact that mama goes and comes home. Everybody started feeling okay about me stepping out. And
Yeah.
suddenly I started feeling the success. I started feeling success not in the success of the movie. I started feeling the success as a person. I started feeling that this is who I am. And
Yeah.
then I started saying to people, what's my role? And then I started doing roles that were for 8 days and 10 days. And now I'm doing roles for 25 days.
Wow.
It's a
Hearing this,
strange way.
the journey, exactly the last few lines that you said, I chat with a lot of people on business, a lot of people on building their business. In times of COVID, people are in distress. You don't know what's next. But you said exactly the right thing. You start somewhere. It's the small start. You took it. You still didn't say no. Now, today
Yeah.
you've reached a stage where you can demand and say, so what's my role? You're back.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And I think that
And
is
you
a
know
journey
what?
in itself.
And also there was a lot of what is the non-confidence, or what is the word opposite of confidence? I don't know.
Yeah,
Diffidence.
yeah.
Yeah, I had to make, because I didn't work for about 15 years. When I got married, about 12 years of 13 years, I just stayed out of the media. And in that process, I became a mother. I gained a lot of weight, and the things that happened to me. So even today, when I don't go to the sets for a month or two, like this COVID break that has happened,
Yes, yes.
I think, oh my God, do you think I would have forgotten my skill? Because it's all about gaining back, keeping in touch with your skill. And when
Yes.
you're not practicing your skill, so when you see my work, which I did in 2014 or 15, those 2 days roles and 4 days roles, and if you see the way I walk into the set today, there's a vast difference. And the difference is just that I've been in touch with my skill. So inherently, I feel I know my job. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
those 2 days and 4 days gave me a practice, what you call the field to practice. I was so scared. I was so nervous. And people would think, my hairdresser and makeup man, they would look at me in the makeup van and ask me, ma'am, but you did Roja. Ma'am, you did Phulor Kante, and you've done this and you've done that. Why are you trembling now? But I'm like, that I did 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And not only
I think it's
30
a
years
journey that everybody goes through, right? So I'm sure at some point you'd be nervous. At some point, somebody else must have gone through it. So this is another thing I wanted to actually ask you. When you were in the movies the first time round, things must have been so different. And today when you come back, things might have changed so much. I mean, in the sense, back in the day, there was just one manager to one person. Today,
Yes.
you have agencies, you know, if you want to be in an ad campaign or you want to be in many roles at one time, you have to pitch, an agency pitches for you today. So how's
Yeah.
that change been for you as such?
You know, Shan, I have to admit, I went agent scouting, and you see, I'm not a new generation, and I came from that old place, if you can call 90s old, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Not
So
old.
for
Not
me,
old.
you know, so when I started back again,
Yeah.
I came with that very old way of functioning.
Yeah.
I was completely out of touch with how much the world had changed since 2000. You see, I exactly packed up working in 1999 when I got married. And
Yeah.
2000, there was a whole new world. So when I came back in 2014 or 15 back to the scene, I just didn't know I came back. And this was a wake-up call that I did a movie called Love You, Mr. Kalakar,
Okay.
with Rajshri Productions.
Yeah.
Tushar and Amrita, they were my co-actors. And I remember taking my little Ammu, my daughter at that point. This was like about 8-9 years ago. So she saw the movie. They were in Cathedral. And at that time, they were big fans of Kareena Kapoor, Priyanka Chopra, you know, all that Krish. The movie Krish had released. I'm not sure if Alia Bhatt was on the scene at that time. But
no.
My girls had seen that movie. And my little Ammu, she came and said, Mama, you're so old-fashioned. You know? And that was my awakening. I said, there's something about my acting that did not click with my daughter. Even though I'm so proud of myself as an artist. If there's one thing that I'm proud of, is that me as an actor. I don't know about me as any other role, but me as an actor, I've always felt very comfortable in that zone. Yeah. But when my young daughter looked at me and said, Mama, you're so old-fashioned, I said, okay, there's something that I didn't do well. That's something I can do right. So then years later, I did a short film with Raja Mukherjee called Sab Theek Hai.
Okay.
It's a 27-minute film on relationship. And there was a short premiere, and I took my daughters. And they came out and said, Mom, you're awesome in the movie. So I knew that I made the cut somewhere. I made the change. I made the shift. You know, so it has been a big journey for me to understand. You know, and I still don't have agents. I still have my manager, South manager, and I tried going around to all the agents. And what I felt, I don't know whether this is my personal experience or this is how it is. The agents didn't give me the importance. I went and saw all the big names, and they have Ranbir or XYZ, and I was a startup. If they didn't see your potential, or they didn't see the spark in me, or they didn't see, so they never pitched me anywhere. 6 months I was there with an agency. They came with nothing for me. Then I said, I quit you. And then I have, in Hindi, for a long time, I didn't even have anybody. But in the South, managers reached out to me like in the old fashion. And I still have. And, you know, I like that soul. My manager is today talking like, you know, they go forward for me. They protect me. They are treating me as their prime. And that I value more than to be a part of a great agency who's got great superstars, but they are not looking at me as their asset. In fact, when I have a manager, they are treating me as their prime asset, which I still value. So in that way, I'm still old-fashioned.
You know, I have, so Manasvi from Tasting Spoon, she writes a comment. She's one of our members of our network, and she says, being so raw and honest, Madhoo, much more power and love to you. I completely agree. And I'm so happy that people are seeing the side of you that I know, because you've always been this person. If you don't like somebody, you'll be the same way. You're not a pretense. You don't pretend at all. And you do that whether you're in your business or your personality. So that's a big, I'm glad other people are seeing this as well. I'm glad. So I wanted to ask you.
Some people don't like that.
I love it.
Some people think that I'm too diplomatic and I sit on the fence.
I love it. So somebody asks you, Ajinkya says, how about Roja 2?
Yeah, someone once asked me if Roja 2 gets made, who would I see in Roja 2? And I say that in Roja, I only see myself. Whether you make Roja 2 or Roja 100, there's no other Roja but me.
I agree completely. I'm sure many others will agree with you. I want to also ask you another question, a little different from the acting world. You are a very spiritual person, on your own level. I wouldn't say you follow one type. But if you could tell us a little bit about that, because I think spirituality, positivity, and they go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's a self-improvement journey, and it's a very difficult question to answer because I don't know how to put it forward. Like you correctly said, I'm not a follower of a mission.
You're not a follower,
any mission or anything. For me, spirituality, my life is my reflection of my spirituality. If I'm conflicted, if I'm unhappy, if I am feeling unfulfilled, then that means there is some hole in my spiritual practice. Because if I'm able to be peaceful and calm and okay with what life is for me, that means I know that I am in the right practice. And for that, the most important thing I have realized is the faith. Faith in the unknown. That the unknown will always turn out good for you. So then you're not all the time, feeling the lack. So when you feel that you're in control and you're pushing forward and you have to make this happen and you have to be positive and make that happen, it takes away from what is. To be okay in what is. To find joy and peace in the relationship. Repairing your relationship. If my relationships in the house is all the time fighting with my brother, fighting with my children, fighting with my mother, fighting with my husband, if I am caught, that means my energies are not okay, and that means that I need to really do something spiritual. So when I find this calm in my outer world, in my inner world, that means I'm doing okay, and that to me is my spirituality, and that changes. There are days when I feel really low because I'm fighting with somebody. I don't know why I'm fighting. Sometimes, the project that needs to come to me, that I feel that this project should come to me, talks are happening and they don't come. They go to someone else. And sometimes that someone else is a very dear friend of mine. Someone who I say that I love. And she got the project that I was coveting. It's very hard not to feel anger, not to feel jealousy, not to feel envy. And then that's when you have to really, I practice to say, firstly, to feel what I feel because that is normal. And then to come out of it and say that I'm okay and I'm happy for my friend and I believe that the best will come to me. My part will come to me. My love will come to me and I shall be taken care of. My projects will come to me. So to have that faith is my spiritual prayer. I pray to God that God give me faith in you. So I can live my life.
That's a beautiful way. That's a beautiful way to look at it, because I think that the last line you said is amazing, which is what's meant to be mine will come to me. So it's not it's not about you and I and me having the revenge, even if my friend got it. But you said you put it so well. So I have another question for you. Is of course, talking about the different generation. I wouldn't call it generation because you're still very young and very much part of the film. So I wouldn't call it generation. But I'll say, like, when you first did your movies to now, today people have stylists. Today people have designers running after them. Today, I'm sure designers call you all the time and stylists are around. So what was the difference? Like, how was it when you did your first two movies, when you did Roja also? Was it very different?
Absolutely. Today when I go to the set, Shan, I find, I don't want to complain and I don't want to say that I'm pointing out a negative, but today in the industry, there are more unit members. A designer, like a costume designer, is a person who is designing your outfit. And then there are stylists. And then there are fitters. People come and fit. And then on the set, none of these people are there. Then there are some tailors. So if something goes wrong on the set, if like a bead has fallen off, or say the belt is not fitting, and then you say, "Arey, kuch karo," and then they are running around because the stylist is probably not there, or may have come and done it in the morning and gone away by evening.
Gone away,
or
yeah.
the person who's designed your outfit is probably sitting in Bombay and we are shooting in Hyderabad. Or, you know, and
Yeah.
but in the old days, there used to be a designer who would design it and then he would give it to you. But there was one, like a dress man in the unit. If something broke or something tore, he would stitch it on your body. Things like that don't happen today. Shootings get held up. If suppose your outfit has come and you've not been able to take a trial, and you've lost weight or you've gained weight and there has to be a little adjustment, you know, they wait for 2 hours before somebody comes and attends to you.
Oh God.
Those people are not, so I feel somewhere people have become, you know, the work ethic has become a little inefficient because there are more people, more specialized, more people.
Yes.
Or like in my set, Kangana is playing, I'm doing this biopic called Talaivi, Jaya Lalita's biopic. And Kangana is playing Ma'am Jaya Lalita's role.
Okay,
so,
wow.
Yeah, she is playing the main lead and I am playing MGR's first wife in the film. Now, this unit is a very big production. So, Kangana has a team of, if I'm not mistaken, 12 or 15 people on the set at all times. Now, there are certain productions that's called the big production that enables this. But most of the production who are trying to cost cut and all that, I feel the old, there is a lot of great way that the world has changed, but the old was just beautiful. We had all these kakas, dress kaka, and you come with a thread and a needle, and you're wearing it, and you just quickly stitch it or loosen it. It was all done on you, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's great. It's good to hear.
Not complaining. So my job, what I do, my job is to blend the soul from the old and the professionalism and the specialization from the new, blend it in. And
absolutely
that, you know, and makeup.
No, you couldn't have said it better. You've said it beautifully.
Yeah, the products, the makeup today. In the back in the day, when I see some of my you know, movies, I must have been modesty apart, I'm not joking. I mean, I must have been really a good actress to have carried that shitty makeup for years. Yeah. But today, the makeup
you get all the products,
the makeup artists, they just make you look beautiful.
Absolutely, completely agree. So the other thing I want to ask you is, of course, which was your best experience in terms of movies, or, you know, who have you enjoyed working with? I'm sure you've worked with many and you have enjoyed all. But tell us some of your experiences, anything that, you know, you really remember in the recent past or maybe back in the day.
What I love about being an actor is that we get to live many lives. And that is fascinating. Because our social conditioning is that they don't allow, girls must not laugh loudly, girls must not cry, boys must not cry. You can't say, I will kill you. You can't fall in love here. You can't do that. You can't. There's so many you can't in real life. But if you're a movie actor, you can, you know.
You can.
And that experience. And not only that, now I have, you know, in my new life, in my married home, we've traveled to beautiful places in Europe and, you know, wherever, holidays, family holidays, skiing and, you know, beach holidays. But the way you see when you're shooting, you know, when you go to a village and you sleep under the tree, when you walk the field, when you shower in the waterfalls, when you climb the mountain, you know, it's like so raw. That
it's
experience.
So raw,
It's so raw. You
beautiful,
know, now it is like we may go to the same place. Like I went and danced in one of my Telugu movies. I was dancing in Chamonix in Paris. And the Japanese tourists were taking pictures, you know, Japanese tourists. So they were all awestruck that this girl in miniskirt is dancing on the snow mountain. How the hell is she doing that?
Yeah.
And I remember my father was standing with cognac because the minute the shot would get over, he would give me cognac. My father would give me cognac and rub cognac on my feet because it was, I was getting cold, you know, it was like that. So such experiences. Now, even now, when you go to a snow mountain, you are wearing your snow coat, your fur coat, your boots. You don't feel it in your bones.
Yeah.
You know?
My God, you've had some experiences. These are great. But the next thing that I want to ask you is, I've always noticed that you take very good care of yourself. So tell us a little bit about your fitness regime, and, you know, what have you been doing in this lockdown that's keeping you looking so fresh and amazing?
One thing I figured out for myself is that I'll always be an actress, you know, whether I act or not. And part of being an actress is to keep my tools ready, you know, and my tool is my body. And I shall do everything to try. I don't know when will I work, if I'll work, how much I'll work, I don't know. But if you ask me, who are you, what are you, I will always say I'm an actress. So I'll always keep myself ready.
Yeah.
Ready when my work comes, that I can be ready. And I see myself as an actor. So my tool is my body, my face. And I try my best to keep it in the best possible way. For that, whatever one does, you know, there's a whole regime. The whole day I'm only focusing on that.
But do you do yoga? Do you do yoga?
Yeah.
You do.
I do a lot of yoga. Actually, I do every morning, whatever, you know. I mean, I don't start my day without yoga.
Okay, great.
That's
good to hear this, I'm sure.
And for doing yoga, I feel you don't need a place, you don't need a gym, you don't need... So anywhere I am, next to my bed, if I'm shooting somewhere, anywhere, you can just put your towel or your mat and you can start doing. You don't need anything. You just need your will. And it just is something amazing. It's so beautiful. And you have to love what you do, so you can do it every day. It's not how much you do every day. It's that you do every day.
Yes, completely.
You know, it's not like today you hit the gym for 4 hours, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours, and then the next 1 week you don't do anything. It's not about that. It's about doing something every day. You are what you eat and you are what you do every day.
Absolutely. Consistency. You couldn't have said it better. So the last thing I'm going to ask you is, how are you spending the lockdown? I know you have both your daughters here. And one thing that I can see, which is very new, is your TikTok videos.
Yeah. My younger daughter is a champion.
She's a champion at TikTok.
She's a champion at TikTok. So when she allows me to be a part of it and adds me, she even now, before I came with you, Shan, she did some 2 TikToks and she showed me, and she's just brilliant.
She's very good.
But she doesn't add me on it. Every now and then she'll say, Mama, do you want to do one? And I quickly jump onto that. But a very interesting thing I have to tell you, Shan, yesterday some very dear friends of mine created a WhatsApp group of 18 groups. 18 people participated and we played, you know, like Simon Says, and perform this task and perform that task. And the game went on for 2 hours. And we had a blast.
What fun.
We had a blast. So I have some creative friends. I have some, you know, really engaging people, and TikToks and yoga and
so it's
movies,
keeping you busy.
Netflix. Yeah. So there's enough.
It's keeping you busy.
And I must say, your mom, I love
I know.
Talking to her every day, getting my daily dose of news from her. Yeah.
Your daily dose of news and I would say positive dialogue. Every time I walk in the room, I know she's talking to you. Because
I don't know what I would do without her. Because, you know, it's not about what you're really, you know, it's that sharing. When I talk to her, when I put the phone down, I feel amazing. I know we've helped each other go through
Touch
our
wood.
stories.
Those are really good friendships. And I want to thank you for chatting with me today. I have to say, I hope that everyone that watched this, and I'm going to share it on my IGTV, knew exactly what I said in the beginning was 100% truth, that you are positive, inspiring. And I don't say this because I know you, but you add light in every room that you enter. So I hope you always stay the same. And thank you for agreeing to talk to us today, this evening.
Shan, thank you for having me on your show. Really.
And we'll see you soon as the lockdown's over.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.